It is the metaphor of an Haussmann block collapse. This collapse gives birth to a new form. It is a deconstructivist project which plays with different metal colors and textures. The museum should prepare the entrance to another period. It could be seen as a sheep that would have scratched and sunk into the ground into history. The visitor arrives under a huge mirror which reflects our time. He goes through this mirror to a platform in connection with the sky and the landscape. From there, he enters down to the exhibition. Studying in a book open to the sky while resting on a hill of knowledge. Translucent concrete creates spatial atmosphere, both inside on daytime and outside by night. Functional part is a huge base optimized for the stacks. Over it, 2 oblique places lead to the book building, which includes the reading rooms. A transparent asymmetrical bridge gives access to a museum under the channel. Visitors go through the smoke curtains to enter into the town. Depending on the light and the observant point of view, the building seems to disappear and reappear in the landscape. It looks like an anchor with its gravity center under rock. It acts as an intrusive element to warn the world about global warming damages. Surrounded by towers, visitors enter the building going down to a public place below ground level. That way, and thanks to a fountain, climate is cooler. An oblique volume gives access to the different spaces of the program. Exhibitions, cinemas, theaters, and a library connected to an oriental gardens on top of the building. Facing the ring, a huge video screen is a support of informations on exhibitions. It also broadcasts video art. Museum plays with shades, light and color. Mist of Dubaï clouds is created with the water of a lake next to the project. People have access to the clouds thanks to a newel which vanishes because of its stainless steel envelope, which acts as a mirror reflecting the sky and the environment. Visitors can have a drink in a fresh atmosphere looking at Dubai skyline. Global Projects is a huge amphitheater open to the sea. It is the city getaway. The entire water surface of the bay becomes one of the largest show area in Asia. It is made of 3 different stand buildings connected together by a green promenade. The Sales of Maritime Center is a low-height fragmented complex of buildings. Most of the roofs are accessible, creating more stands for the outdoor shore. The ship is the higher building of the complex. There is a doubled envelope in metal and in wood on the other side. Inside there are 2 performance halls, the Pop Music Museum and a panoramic restaurant. The theater contains the main stands of the outdoor performance area. It is built against a curved screen building which acts as a sound barrier. Project is melt into nature. It changes and interacts with the surrounding environment. Each of the curved surface of the building is designed with a 10-meter radius. It allows to control the cost, exploring every possibilities of shape using one kind of tunnel formwork. A motorway separates the city and defines two territories. We turn this drawback to city's advantage, creating an event both for the motorway and for the city. We have designed an interactive limit which uses specificities of the motorway, noise, head spotlight, etc. This limit creates a unique environment, a changing landscape. It acts as a place culture. Pedestrian can enter it. It takes part in the city identification. Usually on common seaside, the pleasant view is only for the lucky owners. The public can only walk along the sea without any high view. Our challenge is to create a relief integrated into the landscape, which offers a panorama on Amsterdam Bay for everyone. It is a public space and a real signal from the water. Hong Kong Cascade Gardens are made of several landscapes which can be seen as a whole in the distance. They design Hong Kong sea line, which interacts with the existing skyline and identify the bay. A cascade garden is made out of building with a huge vegetable cover. Conceived as a network, project is easy to build and to develop. It can adapt itself to new needs and fit to town necessities. It delimits 3 public places and 1 piece of forest, both open to the sea. Buildings are facing the city. Walkers or drivers coming from the town discover sea view through rifts which create unique sea frame and special entrance of light. On the other side, users take benefits of a piece of landscape with a full sea view. Each garden is different, with special vegetation, a wet field, rainforest, mangrove, vineyard, beach, etc. They animate waterfront in environments mixing nature, sea view, town connections. Buildings float in green spaces. Roofs are private or public landscape. Some of them act as footbridges which connect different districts. Buildings are made with a steel structure similar to a bridge on which different models of housing blocks are plugged. Housings are merged into nature, under, over and around. Projects is a fault of light which underlines the historic buildings. It lets enter some light in the program hidden under an oblique public place. Today, the geographical gap between East and West districts limits the communication and makes the exchange and circulation difficult. Thanks to footbridges implanted over existing buildings, we connect those town districts while creating a huge public place open to the view. New motorway service stations are opened to the crossing landscape. Building is an interface between two territories with their own time space. Entering into the service station acts as a mirror going through, an invitation to discover the crossed landscape, the crossed region. Playing with color allows to create differences and particularism while maintaining network membership. Each project is adapted to the climate and takes benefit of the context. New Urban Service Station plays with nature and fits into the environment. It is not only a gas station, it is also a grocery shop for inhabitants and passersby. Hidden from the street, the villa extension generates 3 different environments according to the level where you stand. They offer various sites and life places and allow to take benefits of the house differently depending on the climate or seasons. From the basement you have a view to the heart of the forest, trunk level. The living room connected to a large terrace offers a view on the tree foliage. The limit between inside and outside is blurred. Inhabitants are melded into the natural environment. From the top terrace there is a wide view over the forest until the sea in the distance. The project was to create 4 houses with identical plans in order to optimize their price. In spite of this constraint, the objective is to create a landscape where each house will have its own personality. It has been made possible thanks to their fragmented form and various colors. They create a merry environment where the identity of each house is preserved. The objective is to create sustainable collective housings where inhabitants have the feeling to be in their own private house. One side of the building is animated with wood houses on several heights. On the other side, an oblique translucent front wall reflects the sky. This double envelope delimits an in-between space either inside or outside, which protects from the noise and acts as a bioclimatic greenhouse. Because of the economic crisis, the first project has been adapted in order to limit the cost. The project consists of a roof space recovery to increase the apartment volume. A small bedroom is created in an oblique suspended box. Plants are set up halfway up all around the principal volume, creating a hanging garden. This extension is a building addition. 2 periods of time are visible. On the south front wall, we have kept the current proportions. On the back of the house, we've designed a new volume which reflects sunlight to energize the facade and the garden. We have rehabilitated the entire building. The common part, the elevator, and also offices and apartments. Visible from the waiting area, the corridor is a dynamic area. We play with transparency, color, textures and light. The visitor walks through the luminous atmosphere of the white environment to the more muffled one of the red environment. It recalls the way from the entrance to the scene. Here, the scene is the offices of producers and agents. Instead of creating as usually one public floor and several private spaces on the other floors, we want to create a district that spreads into 3 dimensions. Sections show the lights breaking through. Phasing is getting easier. Project takes benefit of every constructed area and offers connections with the sky on several levels. Every roof has an architectural or cultural theme and is reachable by footbridges connecting buildings together. Moving in the high dimensions offer views on the surrounding areas and vegetations at different levels: trunk, foliage, building, clear view. The wild vegetable river is one of the district structuring elements. The town we want to create is inspired by several architect researchers, but also by vernacular towns. It increases density and it improves lifestyle. Our project is an alternation of buildings unvoid into 3 dimensions. Building implementation depends on natural lights and views. Every roof is accessible and used as a square, bike park, private or public garden. Public places of different sizes, soul and atmosphere are connected at different levels. Playing with several heights allows to clear the ground. It is widely planted. There are few roads for limited traffic. Vegetation takes part of the construction, extending also in the 3 dimensions. Town also allows to limit traffic for sustainable development and to incorporate programs that tend to disappear from town centers: soft factories, youth shop, workshop, etc. This n-dimensional town builds itself around 4 main ideas: social, pragmatic, ecological and poetic. The whole project becomes a complex volumetric shape which comes from a work in progress that builds a town of link, a town of place, a green town, a pleasure town, a moving town, which continuously reinvents itself.